Our buddy Electron is due for some upgrades. Here's what we're going to use to help out Atom and upgrade Electron. First, we're going to need a little bit of copper tape. We're also going to need an LED. LEDs only allow electrons to flow through them one way. Here it's not powering on. If we connect our LED properly, then electrons will flow from the positive end to the negative end. We're going to need a buzzer. We'll also need an on-off switch to open and close our circuit, allowing us to turn it on or off. Here we're going to place paper clips and brass fasteners over top that are going to serve as the wires for our circuit, allowing electrons to flow through. When we attach our paper clips, we're going to first poke holes with brass fasteners, and then we're going to hook our paper clips over top. Sometimes it's helpful to think of these paper clips kind of like a drawbridge that goes over a river. We want the connections to be nice and smooth so our electrons can pass over them. Paper clips aren't properly connected. If they're too loose, it's almost like our drawbridge is going to be open. Electrons are just going to have to wait there, unable to complete the circuit until, once again, we close the circuit, allowing them to move. So now we're just going to connect our paper clips over top to provide a nice pathway for our electrons to move through. Make sure that it's nice and tight, and you'll have a nice road for your electrons to drive down. Okay, so now all our paper clips are connected. We have a nice little circuit for our electrons, and we're going to go to the conductive ends on the bottom, allowing us to let our electrons travel through safely. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to poke little holes in this electron template for our components. So here's the little 2 holes for the wires on our LED, 2 holes for the wire on the on-off switch, and I'm going to open up a paper clip to poke holes in all of the little drawing holes I've made. There's for the buzzer. Okay. So I'm going to start by connecting my buzzer to the circuit. In the end, this will be one of the pathways that our electrons can take through the circuit. They can travel through the positive wire, through the negative wire, back to the battery, and that will operate the piezo crystal. Our buzzer is going to cause the piezo crystal inside of our buzzer to vibrate, creating that high-pitched sound our parents love by this point. Now I'm just connecting some copper tape to the conductive points of the brass fasteners underneath. Remember, electrons are flowing through the conductors, and these little prongs actually can carry our conductors through. I'm also going to take a little bit of poster putty and fasten down that buzzer so it stays put. Now I'm going to take my LED and I'm going to poke those wires through the little holes that I drew prior. Remember, long leg is positive, short leg is negative. These wires are going to give another pathway for our electrons to flow through. Think of it kind of like our electrons can choose to turn off somewhere and take another route home. They're still going to be going home, but they'll pass different things on the way back and maybe make different stops. Adventure. Anyways, I'm attaching copper tape again to the conductive ends underneath the brass fasteners. That way there's a nice, stable circuit. Good, everything looks secure. All right, so we still have an open circuit, and we're going to use a switch to close that circuit. So here I'm just making sure that none of my wires are too frayed before I poke it through. Great, nice and wide now. So I'm going to put these wires through. Now let me grab a little bit of poster putty to secure that in place, just to make sure nothing dangles around. Great, great, great. Let me flip the paper over, and now we're going to locate the 2 points of the circuit. That way we can make sure that everything's flowing accordingly. So here I know, great, 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 okay. All right, so now I'm going to find the point where I can start off my circuit, and I'll connect my battery there. So I'm making a little double-sided packet of copper tape where I'm going to lay down the end of my circuit. And I'm going to grab my battery, making sure my positive side is facing up, my negative side is facing down towards the negative end. And here I will attach a little bit more copper tape. Sorry, just grabbing it. Almost got it. There we go. Okay, almost. And I'm going to connect my positive end to the top. Great. And now I just need to connect my negative end to my circuit. Just make sure that copper tape is really secure. Great. Now I'm fastening the negative end of my circuit down to the other end. And provided everything's nice and secure, it should work. Let me flip it over. And boom! Electron works great.